welcome to this episode of Akau TV. Jamie, you're over in Australia with Kellyburn.
Yep, came over to Sydney on Thursday, watched Probably an Advantage work up there on Friday morning, and then came down here ready for Kellyburn to make his Australasian debut today.
Oh, well, that's pretty exciting. So he's racing at Flemington in race 1 with Damien Lane aboard?
Yeah, he's it's his first start for us. He's 2 months between runs and his first race for us at 2,500. So we've pretty much done everything that we possibly can with him to have him fit enough and forward enough to go 2,500. But I guess the fitness is the big query. Drawn a little bit awkward, but we'd like to think he could sort of be just behind midfield with a little bit of cover. But he's a lovely horse, and we're really looking forward to him making his debut for us today.
All right, well, it's pretty exciting. But also at Awapuni, you've got 2 runners. You've got Richard of York in race 3 with Joe Cameroon aboard.
Yeah, he's going well. Good, consistent horse. Likes the easing in the track, and that's what he's going to get down there today. Just drawn a little bit awkward, so he's probably got to go back a little bit, try and get some cover. But whatever he does, he gives 100%, and he'll be right in the thick of the finish.
And Meteoric Lass in race 5 with Joe aboard as well.
Yeah, really happy with her. She raced well at Ruakaka a fortnight ago. Doesn't mind easing in the ground, and she'll go forward. Should be a good chance.
All right, and heading to Ruakaka, big team in there today. We'll start with Ronaldo's Dream in race 1 with Opie Boston aboard.
Yeah, another that's drawn awkward, drawn the outside. Just got to go back and run home a little bit. Holy Mongol Emperor looks a very exciting colt, so he'll be hard to beat, but we like this horse. He'll be finding the line well late.
And Missouro in race 2 with Opie Boston aboard.
Yeah, just finding it a little bit hard to get a line on this horse. His trials have just been okay. He doesn't really work up like he's going to go bang over a mile, so he's drawn well. Whatever he does today, he will improve on. He's a natural stayer, but we need to get him underway. And
Remington in race 3 with Chelsea Burden aboard.
Yeah, Remington's running out of his class there today, but we have claimed it's not really the right race for him, but just in the interest of getting underway on a good track, we need to go up today. He's on a path, hopefully, towards the Copeland's Mile at Riccarton. He's going to be back a little bit off an awkward barrier and should be charging home with that nice lightweight.
And back to Master in race 4 with Opie Boston.
Yeah, he's had a little freshen up since his last run where he got caught wide without cover. He's drawn nicely. He should get a nice run in behind the spread. Expect it to be a good chance back on top of the ground.
And Al Haram in race 5 with Chelsea Burden aboard.
Yeah, Al Haram's pretty similar to Remington. They were both initially headed for Awapuni, but just when the track came up so wet, we had to go to plan B. This isn't really the right race for him. He's running out of his class after winning a midweek 72, but we need to find out if this horse is going to we want to try and get him to the New Zealand Cup, and today we're going to find out whether he's good enough for that, or whether we revert back to the hurdles with him. So he's probably going to be back a little bit as well, but he's got no weight on his back and not going to really be finding the line.
And Savion Blanc in race 6 with Michael McNabb aboard.
Yeah, really happy with her. She looks terrific, really starting to come on in the coat. She's hasn't trialled since the back end of July. She's just been held up with a few bits and pieces, waiting on tracks. But she's a smart mare and she'll run well.
And Ayatir Lad in the Group 3 Cambridge Stud Northland Breeders' Stakes, race 7 with Opie Boston aboard.
Yeah, just been a little bit hard to get a line on him. He's a very lazy track worker and hasn't really done a lot at the trials either. Catalyst looks hard to beat, but we've got really good form as a 2-year-old. He's got the blinkers back on there today, and I'm sure that he'll be a nice each-way chance.
All right, and Duck Road in race 8 with Troy Harris aboard.
Yeah, he's going well at home. He's drawn nicely. Race handy to the speed. Good chance.
Another run in that race, Scottish Star with Opie Boston aboard.
Yeah, trials have just been okay, but her race day form is solid. She beat Helena Baby on debut, and that form's stacked up right through the autumn and the winter and even into the spring. So, as I say, trials have only been okay, but blinkers back on there at the races today. Expect there to be a nice each-way chance.
And like the last runner, Ritzy Sparkle in race 8 as well with Michael McNabb aboard.
Drawn very wide, but she'll go forward from out there. She likes to race on the speed. I thought she might have done a little bit more at Matamata, but the track was pretty testing that day, pretty holding. So we've gone up there in search of better ground. If she can get over and get a cheap sectional somewhere in the race, she's going to be a nice head-to-head chance.
Great lineup of runners this weekend, Jamie. Do you have a best bet?
I think Drawn to get a really nice run in the race, and a month between runs suits back to Master. I know he doesn't win out of turn, but we've got a lot of horses in this weekend that are sort of just trying to get going on better tracks. The two at Awapuni will run well, but I think back to Master is a nice head-to-head chance.